Hi, this is Genshin-kun, and this is Dead by Daylight, and we are playing Pyramid Head, the Executioner, on the game. So basically, this is my first game as Pyramid Head. This is post-commentary. Just giving you my thoughts and feelings on just playing Pyramid Head in general. For the most part, in terms of fun factor, he's fun to play as. In terms of meta, he's not like top tier, but I consider him, he's a decent killer. He's not the best killer, he's pretty decent, so I would give him probably, if I had to put him on a letter scaling from F to worst to A, S to best, I'd put him like around high B, low A. So, but beyond that, this is my first game playing as him. I do not have, or right now, I do not have, right now I have rank 3 running, but in this game I only had rank 2. I was able to finally find a survivor. This is my first game, so I was simply just trying to learn him. What I love about what Behavior is doing with a lot of the killers right now is that they're really emphasizing the Oblivious status effect. And right here I leave a trail of Torment with Rites of Judgment. So I'm trying to force this Claudette to make a choice. She makes the wrong choice. And this is a gameplay of Pyramid Head after his recent nerf. And I want to say kind of slight buff. This is after he can no longer see the Cage of Atonement. He used to be able to see the Cage of Atonement if survivors got hit by the Rites of Judgment, if they walked over the Trail of Torment. But as of right now, he can no longer see the cage. But what's cool about it is that if he goes near the cage itself with a survivor in it gets relocated somewhere else on the map. So it can kind of work out for Pyramid Head, whoever's playing Pyramid Head, because it forces the Cage of Atonement to get relocated on the map, forcing survivors to possibly have to go further to save them. Yeah, this poor Claudette. I end up kind of bullying this Claudette, not on purpose, mind you, but it's just this Claudette just does not move anywhere, so I keep downing her over and over. Unfortunately, I will spoil this. I do not manage to get Final Judgment down. Final Judgment is basically as soon as they are infected with the Rites of Judgment by going over the Trails of Torment. Man, that's that's very wordy. You can, on the second and final hook, instead of forcing to hook them, you can basically mori them. And they activated my Death Slinger perk. I forgot what it was called, but it's basically if they get rid of it, I am able to see their auras, or they get the Oblivious status effect if they do a regular totem. Oh no, they didn't get rid of that. They got rid of my rune. Sorry, I just noticed that. Sorry, I'm kind of like looking down on the abilities and definition of Pyramid Head. Yeah, I thought I could activate it on her, but I wasn't able to, so this is where I kind of go stupid here. I have like full advantage, everyone's hurt, everyone is suffering from Thanaphobia, but for some reason I wasn't thinking. And so I end up dropping her. Meg gets picked up. And yeah, this is the only part where I struggle. And this, I think it's is it a Steve or a or what's his face from Nightmare on Elm Street? Oh, Quentin. I'm not sure. I can't remember if it's a Steve or Quentin. I think it's a Steve. Yeah, he's a real thorn in my side. this is during the 4th anniversary event, so the crown event is still going on. But yeah, I'm just learning. And then I figured out how to play him properly. I was thinking of playing him like Huntress when I should be thinking of playing him like the Plague, not Huntress. Because the thing about Plague that's similar to the Executioner is that they can block things off, and they have range, and they can just completely ignore pallets. So I just, the Plague can infect things and do, oh yeah, now they get my Death Slinger ability. So I can see their auras for a brief amount of time, and they're oblivious, I think. And for some reason, yeah, I like I said, this is my stupid bit. I totally just lose them here completely. But as I was saying, you should be thinking of playing him like with the Plague, not Huntress. Now, I know the Plague is like a hybrid of the Huntress, and so is Executioner, but what I mean by thinking of playing the Executioner Pyramid Head like the Plague is you cut things off, you shut areas off. You basically turn areas off with the trails of torment. So like you can, like what I do here. First I hit the generator, and then I try to block off areas. So you can do that around hooks. Yeah, I get the crown here. You can do that around hooks and generators too. You can't do it like right on top of them. There has to be some space. But you can pretty much just cancel, block certain areas off, which ends up working in my benefit here as soon as that finally clicked with me. So I'm not really concerned. I don't really, this is my first game. Yeah, they keep running into him here. Since it's my first time playing him, I don't really have the hang of Punishment of the Damned, his range move. But I'm not really concerned with that here. But as I was saying earlier, yeah, I just talked over it. As I was saying earlier, I really like how behavior is really pushing the Oblivious status effect. But yeah, in terms of fun factor, Pyramid Head is pretty high up there. I'd rather play Pyramid Head than Death Slinger, in all honesty. Because in terms of fun factor, it also has to rely on, what's my functionality? What's my kit? If I feel like I'm getting just bullied as a killer, I'm not going to want to play that killer. So that, in essence, means that they're not that fun to play as. They don't have to be the best killer, but they have to be functional for me to actually like playing them. And me not really liking to play Deathslinger, because I feel like Deathslinger is a poor man's Huntress, essentially. I love that, that's so cool. But as I was saying, yeah, it's like, unfortunately Pyramid can't see it anymore. I understand not being able to see it, so the person playing Pyramid Head can't hard camp the cage. But at the same time, like I said earlier, it can act as sort of like as a minor buff, because if I'm able to find the cage gets relocated to another part of the map away from Pyramid Head. So in a way, it's kind of like a buff. It's more so a nerf, but it's kind of a buff too. Yeah, and you can see here, I'm only using one of Pyramid's perks, Deathbound, which pretty much means if another survivor heals another survivor away from the killer, they will automatically scream and give away their location. And then they become oblivious if they go away from the healed survivor. If they reach a certain distance from the survivor that they healed, they get the oblivious status effect for 60 seconds. So it's actually pretty decent. It was either going to be Deathbound or Nemesis. I chose Deathbound because it's like, okay, Nemesis gives the oblivious status effect for getting pallet slapped or blinded, which does happen. But But that means you have to be willing to get blinded and pallet slapped. And I don't like getting hit by either of those things, so Deathbound it is for me then. And it works. It's a pretty decent perk. His other 2 perks are okay, in my book. But yeah, I got the 3rd rank of run like after this game. Finally found the Francis. I will say this though, even yeah, see, you walked over. That's the decent thing, is that I was dragging it, so I was leaving trails of torment while trying to hit him with Punishment of the Damned. So I'm gonna put him in a cage. What's really cool about the Cage of Atonement is that none of the hook perks apply to it. None of them. So it kind of cancels out a lot of stuff. I don't think DS applies to it, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen or played with DS against a Pyramid Head to find that out. But either way, all the other, I know for a fact that all the other like hook perks do not work on Cage of Atonement because it's not considered a hook. It has the same effects like a hook, but it's not a hook. I really like the chase music. I really like the Terror Radius music they applied to Pyramid Head too. And I do love the Silent Hill map. I think they did a really awesome job with it, with all the references in it and everything. I used to have trouble playing Survivor on that map, but now I don't. I still find the Asylum map, the Doctor map, a lot more difficult in terms of finding generators than Silent Hill. Because Silent Hill's generator spawning, it's there's not that many variations. So it's pretty much as soon as you have a general idea where gens spawn, you can find them. And even though it feels like a big map, it's not really a big map. It isn't something like Pale Rose or the Asylum or a couple other big, huge maps, or like the Slingers map that they actually had to shrink down, I think, in a recent update. So unfortunately here, pretty much for the rest of the game, it's just me trying to locate, because yeah, I do go try hard on this game because I just want to do well on my first games. It becomes just hide and go seek with the with the Quentin, I think? Yeah, no, Steve. It's Steve. There, that answers my question. Steve and the Francis. But yeah, I think Behavior did a very good job with how they designed the recent Silent Hill chapter. I think they did a really, really good job. Now, in terms of like Survivor, I don't really care for her perks, but I love her skins. I can see some potential in her perks, but as per usual, most of her perks, there's like, it's a common theme that you see with just perks in general. There's older perks that pretty much do the same thing, but better, with less work to activate them, or they just do more, they have more value. So yeah, like I said earlier, this becomes a game of just find the Francis, find the Steve. They pretty much give up on doing generators because there's only him left, and I just keep flip-flopping between who I down. I will say this, yeah, he ran over my, was it Trails of Torment? I will say this, though, yeah, he was doing, he got the Oblivious status effect, that's why he didn't hear me, because he is Deathbound. Oh, he didn't run over the trails, he just activated Deathbound. That's why he screamed. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. One of the things I do feel like, since I took my break between now and the release of the Silent Hill chapter, I do feel like things are more balanced out now. For a while, the main reason I took a break is because I felt like it was unbalanced. It wasn't fun playing in higher ranked matches as killer, because I just felt like I was constantly getting bullied. I felt like there was nothing I could do, no matter what killer I played as. Now, I'm not going to really talk about the new recent test server updates with the reworks for Billy and Bubba Leatherface. But I will say this, holy crap, they just nerfed Billy to the freaking ground. Yeah, Billy is pretty much going to no longer be in the top 3. I would say, and oh yeah, and Leatherface is actually he's actually decent now. He's actually pretty good with his rework. But yeah, the rework with Billy, oh my god, they pretty much just nerfed him to the ground. It's like yeah, okay, Deathbound. It pretty much boils down to, for Hillbilly, Billy, that you're going to have to choose. Are you going to use your ability to traverse the map or down somebody? When that used to not be the case at all. You used to be able to zippity-doo-dah wherever you want at, like, no cost, and you used to be able to, like, be, like, a real threat on the map. He was pretty much a, I want to say he was like an easier nurse. And he was just one of the best killers in general. Because of the fact that he could just cover the map. And he had presence. He had a constant map presence, and he was a constant threat. Now, with the recent changes, he's not. Am I disappointed in it? Yeah, kind of, sort of, but it's kind of good to see that the meta is finally getting some change. Like, real change. Like, forever, the top 3 killers were Billy, Nurse, or, like, Nurse, Billy, Spirit. And now that's not so much the case anymore. I would still say Nurse and Spirit are still in the top. But now I don't know who would take the place of Billy. Wraith? Wraith? Weird, right? Maybe? But you have, like, all the stealth killers. They're all kind of, like, in the same kind of area. Because a lot of maps favor stealth killers now. But I don't know. But outside of Nurse and Spirit, I don't know who would be considered top 3. Yeah, I basically cut them off here. And yeah, this is pretty much game. But in general, I really like how they designed Pyramid Head. I really enjoy the Silent Hill map. I really like the Survivor skins. I love their new concept, like the Origin Legendary skins. that just gives more opportunity for other characters to be put in without having to make a totally entirely different character, like they had to with do with Stranger Things. I'm looking forward to whatever they come up with now that Pyramid Head Silent Hill has been put in. That just opens the door for other video game intellectual properties to be put into, which I look very forward to seeing. Like, who knows? Maybe we'll get a BioShock or a Slender Man. Or maybe an RPG Maker killer. That'd be kind of cool. But, like, yeah, you know, it's just the possibilities are now even broader. I would like to thank you guys for joining me. This is Genshin-kun. And until next time, sayonara.